My Welsh distinguished councillors, thank you for the opportunity of speaking this evening. First thing I'd like to say, there's a lot of things I'd like to respond to tonight. Some I just can't remember them all, but I will say one for sure that I know. I have never responded to meet with any, I've never refused to meet with anybody. I don't know where that came from, but I have never
I didn't say you refused to meet, I said they did it behind closed doors.
Well, I have never refused to meet with anybody or talk to anybody on the phone. I'll just make that point. Rick, just to the point you made, any agreement with EDP is not with myself and Dan, it's with the committee. I just want to make that point. When I first came to Madison back in 1987, our city was in a precarious state. Marble Hill had just closed and many people were out of work. There was an abundance of houses for sale, vacant shops on Main Street. It showed all the signs of a city in decline. Despite still having challenges, our city is now in far better shape. We have dramatically improved the riverfront. Gone are the scrapyards and eyesores that used to scar its beauty. We have a beautiful heritage trail, a new hospital, a new community college, more businesses on Main Street, better footpaths, etc., etc. We also have more successful companies employing hundreds of people, some of which are world class. All this has happened during a period when we have experienced one of the worst and most severe recessions in our country's history. A period when much of our traditional industry has moved their businesses to China and other developing countries. Compared to many communities, we have done incredibly well. How often do we drive through towns where the major employee has gone bankrupt or left? You've only to go to Detroit as a great example of a community that's in terrible shape because of the exodus of industry. We are not where we are today by accident. Our beautiful city is not by accident. Our successful companies are not by accident. They are a result of dedicated and often inspired leadership. Leadership that cares passionately about our community. Economic development is the lifeblood of our future. We still have serious challenges to face. Having worked for the last 4 months in trying to bring new businesses here to our community, I feel I have a better understanding of the challenges that stand before us. The disadvantage of not having a major highway run through here, I think, has been well documented and most of us know that. But we also do not have any new vacant energy efficient industrial buildings. Most of our vacant industrial buildings date back to the middle of the last century and are desperately in need of refurbishment and sometimes demolition. We're often competing with new manicured industrial parks. A great example is the one if you drive down 62 at River Ridge. New buildings, manicured lawns, trees, a beautiful industrial facility. Unfortunately, most of the people doing site searches are financial analysts. We've got a great community here. People care passionately about it. We're very fortunate. I mentioned that earlier about what a beautiful community we've got. Unfortunately, most of the people that are doing site searches, they're pure financial analysts. If I can get to talk to the presidents of the company, they care more about the quality of life for their workforces. But the people that are doing site selections absolutely do not. The key to our city's future is for us to create the right environment. The right environment for the existing businesses to thrive, but also the right environment to attract new businesses. We need to better understand what the key factors are that will allow us to create this environment and develop time-phase plans to enable us to do that. We aren't where we need to be now, but if we don't do anything, start now, in 5 years' time we'll be still talking about the same problems. And in 10 years' time, we need a time-phase plan, yes, and involvement from our community as much as we can. There are a lot of bright ideas here, and we should be open to those and understand we're in a different business environment now. We're in a global economy, an internet age, and all those things need to be considered. We have to be prepared to draw a line in the sand and put the past behind us. We can't keep crucifying whoever's in the role I'm in for decades to come for the sins of our fathers. People make mistakes, it's human nature. You talk about how do we review how economic development people have done. If they fail, what we're going to do, crucify them. If a person does his best, that's all you can ask of anybody. If they make mistakes, that's human nature. As long as we learn from the mistakes, then we should be prepared to give them a chance. You know, we've got to move forward, put the past behind us and say, okay, how do we work together for the good of the future? Now I know that's the sentiment of a lot of people. The challenge to Mayor Walsh and the council and the county council is to figure out how we can pull all that together. You know, we have to work together to beat the competition, not to fight each other. It would be absolutely disastrous for the city and the county to go in separate directions.